So we hear a lot then about gut health. Is there consensus amongst you all as scientists about what a healthy gut looks like?
It's such a well-used term. You read about it all over the place. And actually, when you look into the scientific literature, it's not used very much at all. There's a few different criteria that would need to be fulfilled for there to be gut health in a particular person. And those few criteria that seem to come up quite often in the literature were a lack of gastrointestinal symptoms. So we're talking about things like abdominal pain, bloating, diarrhea, a lack of disease, and then finally, no inflammation and a good concentration of metabolites that we know are really important for the gut. And sort of fundamental to all those three things is the gut microbiome. So it's thought that actually a favourable profile of the gut microbiome is it's a key to gut health. And often it's thought that a more diverse gut microbiome is best for overall health and well-being.
We also hear a lot of talk in terms of dietary solutions about how to heal the gut. Things like kombucha, dietary fibers, probiotics.
There's so much being promoted on the supermarket shelves and pharmacy shelves with regards to these sorts of products that are thought to be good for your gut health. But actually, evidence for some of those things is really very limited. If we take kombucha or other fermented food products as an example, there's a whole group of fermented foods that are being really pushed as being great for your gut. What happens is bacteria or specific organisms are added to the food substrate. They ferment any carbohydrates and other nutritional components in that food. And what you end up with is a product that's slightly different. It's got bacteria added to it and it's got nutritional components that have been broken down. You know, you would expect a product like that to be very good for you and good for your gut. But actually, if you look at the literature, it's very limited in terms of intervention studies that tell us whether or not there's beneficial impacts on the gut microbiome or health benefits. Probably the biggest and best study so far was actually published last year, coming from Stanford in the US. And they showed that if you feed healthy people for 10 weeks with a high fermented food diet, they found that microbiome diversity improved. So overall, very positive findings. But the one thing that is really important to consider here is that people actually had to consume about 5 or 6 serves of fermented foods a day to get those benefits. And that's a huge amount of fermented foods in a day.
Is there such a thing as a perfectly healthy gut?
So if we go back to what we would say is the definition of gut health, the first thing being a lack of gastrointestinal symptoms. That's the first thing to consider is, do you have any gut symptoms? If you don't, great. And then second of all, there are companies now that are testing poo samples for their gut microbiome composition. The problem is at the moment, we actually don't have a great understanding of what the perfect microbiome looks like. Certainly, we all have our own unique microbiome. We know that's the case, but there is a core microbiome. So most people have certain bacteria in sort of relative abundances. What we do know is your microbiome really depends on your baseline diet. And one really interesting example of that is if you look at research in Hasda hunter-gatherers in Tanzania, who get all of their diet from their hunting, so mostly animal-based diet, they don't have any bifidobacteria in their gut whatsoever. And this is a bacteria that we know is really beneficial, and that's often a component of probiotic supplements here in the West. You know, that's something that we would want more of in our gut. But actually these Hasda hunter-gatherers have zero bifidobacteria. They don't suffer from any gut problems. So an ideal gut microbiome for them looks very different to what it might be for us in the West. We don't know all the ins and outs of what sort of diet or what sort of lifestyle you should follow to be able to achieve that perfect microbiome. So at the moment, the best thing you can really do is see your doctor if you have symptoms and try and optimise your diet as best you can, because we know that's one of the biggest drivers of microbiome composition.
What does optimizing your diet look like in general?
So overall, we would say for healthy individuals, for the general population, try to increase your fibre intake, because we know they're the food components that our gut microbiome probably love the most. Fibre comes from fruits and vegetables, whole grains, nuts and seeds, pulses, and these pass through to the large intestine undigested, get fermented by the gut bacteria, and as a result, they produce these really important metabolites. The target for most countries in terms of overall fibre intake is about 30 grams a day. And unfortunately, in the US and in Australia, we're probably only on average getting about 15. And I think as time goes on, we're really going to get much more to grips with how we can make those shifts in our microbiome for our health based on who we are, what our baseline diet is, what our lifestyle is, and what our culture is.